What's up, YouTube? Today I am messing with this intake. I wanted to modify this exhaust manifold, but I ordered this ring and I could have sworn it said inlet for my wastegate. It's not. It's the outlet ring for this side. So therefore it's too small and I have to reorder this new one. Basically what we'll be doing, setting it on here. We'll be setting it on here, marking it out. I'll be cutting this flange to that size circle and welding it, and then this will have the thickness of that, and it should be sturdy. And then we can get our wastegate mounted, and then we can get the manifold mounted, and then we can get the turbo mounted, so we can move forward. But I keep ordering the wrong crap. I swear, I even have been taking my time to reread what I'm buying, and I could have sworn that said tile 44mm inlet is what it is. So I've just pulled the throttle body off this intake. Over here, what I'm doing is just we're going to tape this off, and we're going to try to clean this intake up some by cutting tabs off. Let me show you. You see all these bolt tabs sticking out? We're going to try to get rid of those and keep these runners looking nice and round, and it'll help it look a little bit custom and make it look better. We looked into intake manifolds, and everywhere I searched, everybody's like, run the stock manifold, it's good up to 1,000 horsepower. There's no reason to replace the manifold. So the only reason we would do it would be for looks, and I'm going to go the route trying to make it look better before we spend money on one. But I want to tape these off so I can get my grinder and we can start chopping things off it. We'll see how. Take a good look at what it looks like now. I'm hoping we can make this thing look better. I mean, there's tabs all over this dang thing. So I'm going to try to clean it up and just try to get rid of like casting marks and whatnot. This is what I'm using. I've got old flap discs. These will be perfect because it's aluminum, it's softer than iron. I've got this for getting inside deals, and this is what I'm going to try to cut the tabs off with. Hopefully, I need to get this sealed a little better. I don't want a bunch of shavings getting inside this manifold. Well, we've gotten started. This is what it looks like for now. Hopefully, I can make that look good. Just rounding them off. I'm debating on how many more I want to do because I know my fuel pressure regulator, I want that to hang off something on the side of the manifold. Probably keep this one, maybe ditch that, and that. But before I flip it, because I've got it clamped into this vise, I'm going to get the flap disc and see if I can't round some of this out. Alright, it's coming together. Right here, I want to try to groove that out so it matches and get rid of that and round all that off. But I don't know what to get inside there with, you know, to make it look like this. Because this is the front runner. You will see this when it's in the car. Like, these are gonna look good. I don't know what to use to get this big old glob out of here. Maybe I'll keep ticking away with this thing. This small one gets up in there pretty nice. I'm gonna work on that one a little bit more, and then I'm gonna flip this and start working on the other ones, but it's making a difference. It's not looking bad. I'm also going to try to get rid of this line and this bump real quick. I hope that's not something inside there and turns into a hole. I don't know why else that would be there, but if I can get rid of this line right here It'll make it look a lot more round and a lot cleaner in my opinion. So hopefully I can do a good job at that. And there it is without the line, and that thing turned out sweet. So I'll go over it with some sandpaper. It's actually pretty smooth. It looks like it's not because of the way the light's hitting the grooves, but it's got to get sanded down with like some 220 or something to smooth it out. So now I've got this radium fuel pressure regulator, and I don't know where I want to put it yet. I know I want it somewhere over here by the intake. My fuel line is going to come in this side, come out of it, and curl around and go into the fuel rail right there. So looking at these, I would have to, it would kind of be facing downward. Maybe I should have kept one of these ones. Either way, I'm not going to mount it down there, so I'm just going to take the rest of those tabs off and clean this up here. I will figure out a bracket for this thing, maybe back here somewhere. It'll look good, but it's really cleaning up. I like the way it looks. We haven't messed it up yet. Alright, what do you guys think? It looks a lot cleaner. I wish I could get rid of some of these ports. Got 4 here. I've got some more on the other side I'd like to get rid of. But I mean, you can get an Allen bolt and go in there and clean that up. But for a stock manifold, it's got to be sanded with 220 to clean it up. But for the most part, all the ribs, the tabs, all that stuff's gone. Now what we've got left to do is to clean this thing up. You can see it's just old and corroded. Might take a wire wheel to it and clean it up. I know we're getting a different fuel rail, probably a radium fuel rail, and new injectors. So not worried about any of that. Just basically this spacer that goes between the intake and the motor. So we got to clean that up. But it'll be hanging off the motor like that. That's what you're gonna see, and then obviously my throttle cable holders and sensors and all that stuff, we will get in there, clean that up, and once it's painted, it's gonna look good. I still need to figure out what I'm doing with this. I need to take that big end off there, so we're working on that. I'm waiting for my new V-band. We'll get that in, and we'll get that welded on there. Once we do, we'll be making some headway. But yeah, still a lot to do, a lot of little stuff to do, but we're making headway. I like the way this has turned out so far. Steel is going to have to get out here and sand all of this down, make it uniform, and then prime it. And I don't know what color, probably black. I think black would look the best on the intake. And we can start going through this pile of parts. I'm excited to get all the intercooler piping and the coolant piping and the exhaust mocked up. We have everything here. It's just all sitting in bins. And then we're still debating on the Rocket Bunny kit. It's going to be hard to cut up those rear quarter panels. I don't know if we want to do that or not. The car looks so nice the way it is. It'll obviously look better with the Rocket Bunny kit, but cutting up those rear quarters, I don't know if we can do that. It's such a nice car. The front fenders I don't care about. We can always replace those. So that's to be determined. We put the Rocket Bunny on it or not. You'll have to hang around and watch. But as for now, I'm going to end it here. We made some progress today. Hopefully we get this thing put together, get it all mounted, and get this thing started for the first time. I want to get into that ECU Masters ECU and see what that's all about. I think it's going to be awesome. Peace.